Intel B580 was released 5 months ago, and I realized that I'm pretty late for this video. But on the other hand, Intel had plenty of time to fix all the driver issues, right? I've seen a lot of benchmarks of this GPU, but still wanted to test it myself, both as the main GPU in my desktop PC and as an external GPU. How does it work via Thunderbolt or Q-Link? And the most importantly, how will the use of resizable bar affect it? After all, for Intel GPUs it's very important to have it enabled, while for the eGPU it's better to disable it. Now I have the answers to all these questions, and I have something to tell you and something to warn you about. I didn't use the GPU itself as long as I would like, because I realized pretty quickly that I didn't want to keep it. So I had only 14 days to return it to the store. From the moment of unpacking, initial impressions were great. It's made of nice to touch materials, not a cheap plastic as we used to see on the budget GPUs like RTX 4060. Moreover, the MSRP of the Intel B580 is lower, but in Hungary, for example, the price is the same. So what's wrong with this GPU in my opinion? The gameplay is sometimes unstable. I didn't catch all the moments on camera, but for example, it was difficult to play in Hunt because of random freezes, which is very annoying. Most of the time it works fine and without the problems, but I don't know what it depends on. I never had these problems with other Nvidia GPUs in this game. In general, the experience was pretty good, but still sometimes you encounter strange behavior for no reason. Here, for example, I just did Alt plus Tab and the game crashed. Intel removed the screen recording option, saying it wasn't used much, and if you need it, download OBS. So I tried to record with OBS, because B580 has an 81 encoder, but regardless of OBS settings and different encoder options, as a result I get this, a slideshow. There was also an attempt to capture the screen with a Steam feature, but in this case the performance was noticeably worse. So I felt like a caveman capturing the gameplay with the camera. And also, I tried to use OBS without a GPU, and it worked fine. There was a situation where I wanted to share the screen with a friend to show the game in Discord. And in this case, the game's FPS drops a lot, and Windows is just start lagging. It's impossible to use. It may have some workarounds, but it's not something I want to do when buying a new GPU. Just a quick note, before installing B580, I used DDU to clean up my PC from other graphics drivers. So I don't know what else I should do. Okay, I found a new trouble. I just wanted to play some Ghost of Tsushima on my TV. I got a PC here, an HDMI cable goes from here to my TV. This is HDMI cable 2.1, so it supports up to 4K 120 FPS. But once I use second monitor only, it changes to TV as expected. But if we go to the settings, we see that, let me zoom in a little, we see only 1080p resolution, and I cannot select 2K or 4K, doesn't matter. And also my refresh rate is limited to 60 FPS. I have no idea why it works that way. Maybe it's a driver limitation. I tried to extend monitor. In that case, it's the same behavior. So I also logged in here on 1080p 60 Hz, while my main monitor is still at 2K 240. I will try to figure out why, and I will try to fix it. So I just did restart my PC, and now it's more funny. So now I'm on my PC screen only, my TV is without signal. We can select second screen only, and it doesn't work. We can select any of those, and it doesn't work. I think I will try to connect HDMI cable only and we'll see how it works. So I'm removing DisplayPort and now the only HDMI cable is still there. Will I get an image? The last signal here, but nothing here. So now it just doesn't work. I will try to reset PC. Oh, I need to turn it off by button. And we turn it on again. And hopefully we will get image here. So now we have 4K and we can choose 120 Hz. Now it works? Oh, wait a second. What? 2K only? I cannot choose 4K 120? Why? I've been using this TV 4K 120 with this cable very often, so it's not a cable issue for sure. And I will try to to connect DisplayPort back here. It's connected. We lost image here, and we got image here. Now it sees my TV as my main monitor, right? Or no? Nope. So this is my main monitor. Let's try to switch to the second monitor only. It works now. Let's see the resolution that we're getting. Oh, now I see 2K, I see 4K, nice. And now it works on 2K 120 Hz. Can we change it to 4K? Yes, we can. Yes, we can, but we will be limited to 60 Hz. Once I change to 120, yep, it's 2K back. Weird. That's weird. I never had such issues with other graphics cards. And now when everything is connected, I just wanted to play a game and take a look what I get. An error. Basically it says that the problem with the driver, maybe it's old, blah blah blah, try to update the driver. But I have the newest driver, so unfortunate. After that I rebooted the PC, but Windows did not boot on the TV as it should. Instead it booted on the monitor, but then I couldn't use my TV again. And I just wanted to play some games 40 minutes ago. I'm dealing with this 40 minutes. After my miserable attempt to play a game, I tried to also check how it works with the monitor, not the TV. So now it's also connected via HDMI cable, but this monitor is only 1080p 60 Hz, so pretty simple to run. First, I wanna try to select a second monitor only and restart the PC. Theoretically, it should start from that monitor. Let's see. Yeah, it works as expected. But for some reason it didn't work with the TV. Can I change my monitor? Yes, I can. So now it works. So I can start a game from the monitor, but I cannot play it on the TV via HDMI. This monitor is connected via DisplayPort. Still doesn't make sense. So with XeSS we got 100 FPS on high preset. Pretty good. On 2K resolution. And something tells me that most of you will rewind the video to this chapter. Yes, I decided to try it as an eGPU, despite what I've said previously in another video. But you should definitely avoid GPUs from Intel, as they themselves admit that drivers are not prepared for such usage scenario. It's been a while, and the drivers might have been corrected. Also, I noticed a few videos of the B580 as an eGPU, but after watching them, I still had questions. Let's start with the Oculin connection. I will be connecting it to one X-Player handheld, which is based on Intel Core Ultra 155H. So we will have an Intel CPU plus GPU combo, or so I thought, because the GPU refuses to be detected no matter how I tried. In the device manager there was only integrated graphics, so it's definitely not a driver issue. Fortunately, my PC is based on an AMD CPU, so I used this M.2 adapter with an Oculin port, plugged in the eGPU, and everything worked fine. Resizable bar was enabled, and the performance was close to the direct connection, but I still did benchmarks in a few games, and then I turned off resizable bar. We just started and I already see that the FPS is way lower. And we finished at average FPS of 35 with 20 low. Not good, not good. Whoa, 25 FPS. Nice. It's like 2 times worse. Okay, let's see. Earlier we had 91 of average and 32 of 1% low. Here we go. I already see it's not even close to 90s. Oh, it's lagging so hard. Frame time is disgusting. It's unplayable at all. Okay, seems not bad. We have like 80 FPS. Let's try with RTX. It works. Alright. I didn't expect it to work. If we compare the average FPS directly, we can see that the resizable bar is also very important when using the B580 as an eGPU. And if you compare it with a direct connection to a PC, you will not lose much performance with the Oculin connection. But let me remind you about the CPU overhead problem with B580 when it's connected to a weak CPU.
Meaning that whereas the B580 was 16% slower than the RTX 4060 when using the 9800X3D, it's a massive 28% slower when using the Ryzen 5 5600. And interestingly, that margin is roughly maintained with the Ryzen 5 3600. Here the B580 is 29% slower, but then falls off a cliff with the 2600 blowing out to a 40% margin.
So possibly this problem may appear when you connect it to a mobile CPU in your handheld, laptop or mini PC. And I'm also confused that it didn't work with an Intel CPU on my handheld, so be extra careful. During the editing, I came up with a theory on why this happened, but to be on the same page, we need to discuss Thunderbolt first. So I installed the GPU in another eGPU dock, plugged in the handheld, and generally expected nothing. But it worked. After installing the drivers, I checked the resizable bar, and it was disabled. So I moved it to the desk to test it on an external monitor. Let's start from the Days Gone. Right away in the menu I see 27 FPS, it's not gonna be good. The GPU here you can ignore, it's integrated graphics. If we go to Task Manager, we can see that that ARC B580 is loaded. So it works on that GPU. We're getting like 12 FPS, which is unplayable at all. Also, I see some crazy temperatures here. Oh god, I love this device. It's so good. I will try to change settings. Let's try medium. Yay! 20 FPS! I don't know, maybe in case of B580, resizable bar will work in its favor. By the way, Days Gone is a very good game for the eGPU. It worked fine most of the time. Let's try God of War. Right from here I'm gonna guess that it's not gonna work good at all. Oh no, it's gonna compile shaders. Well, it took forever, but now it's done. 12 FPS. This is horrible. I cannot take this any longer, so let's move to the next one. Or does it even make any sense to try? No, it doesn't. I just wasted my time, and I'm not gonna waste yours. Skip. It is what it is. This time I will try to enable resizable bar, and we'll see if it works better. My guess is yes, it will work. Oh, what? It restarted. It's never been an issue for me with any GPU I've used before. I need to double check that now. And we'll test if it restarts again by disconnecting. Yep. That's unexpected. I would say that's unfortunate. Anyway, we needed our bias. We'll turn on resizable bar. Wait a second. It says that resizable bar is enabled. And it was enabled all the time. But Intel software says it's not enabled. Don't worry, we are getting closer to an answer. Let's rewind to the point of connecting the eGPU to the PC. You know what's funny? I'm recording this footage on 60 FPS in 4K to show your smooth gameplay, but with this eGPU we cannot achieve more than 30. So yeah, it's unplayable. Not gonna dive deeper. I will just restart PC and try to enable resizable bar. Let's see how it goes. One more thing needs to be tested. When I disconnect the eGPU, will it make my PC restart? It doesn't respond. Yep, it restarted. Yeah, and of course the Windows update. Yeah, thank you very much. Love it. Okay, so now I enabled resizable bar. And let's see how it goes. Seems good so far. Let's see on their software. Again, GPU is not recognized by it, so I need to restart it manually. It's turned on. Oh, take a look. Interesting. It's time for a plot twist that no one but me is interested in. Resizable bar just doesn't work on this GPU over Thunderbolt connection. And apparently that was the reason why GPU was detected on my handheld over Thunderbolt and didn't work over Oculink. I assume there was a hardware conflict, and by disabling resizable bar, the GPU would have been detected. But even so, does it matter? Because without resizable bar, it performs poorly. I usually edit my videos straight to the point, but here I intentionally left a major part of my suffering, accompanied by my limited English vocabulary and flavored with a Slavic accent in this video. Now it's more funny, so that you can understand what to expect from it if you decide to buy this GPU. Of course, most of the problems were related to the eGPU usage, but some of them are also appeared in normal use, and I haven't mentioned the others. Sometimes Windows stutter a lot when playing some games. Or in some games, by switching XeSS from ultra quality to ultra performance, I was getting roughly 10% performance increase, And I know it's not a CPU bottleneck in that game, but the picture quality decreased a lot and it becomes blurry. In Hunt, the source of random stutters turned out to be a monitor refresh rate. The game performed in average 100 FPS, and after I reduced the monitor refresh rate from 240 to 120 Hz, there were less stutters. But if I return it to 240 Hz and enable FSR on performance mode to reach about 150 FPS, also less stutters. And when I changed window mode to full screen, stutters disappeared completely. All of this indicates that the drivers are still not quite ready, but I believe they improved a lot, as drivers are coming out regularly, and at some point they'll fix everything. I hope B580 owners will see this video and share their experiences. I'd be interested in reading the comments. I suspect my experience will be very different from yours. In the end, I am not a hater. I just want to inform the others, at least one for sure. And you can inform me of the usefulness of this video in the form of a like or criticize it in the comments. Bye!